Hello friends! After months of feeling unwell, I decided to take myself out on a little solo date in London. Why London, you may ask, if I got all the beautiful, peaceful countryside at my disposal? Well, because even after moving away and leading a much quieter, slower life, there are places in this city I miss dearly, and today I decided to revisit them. Become a flaneur for the day, watch flowers, people, squirrels at the park, visit places which were my peace and quiet amongst busy, bustling days of my early 20s. Flaneur, or flaneuse in my case, apologies for my bad French pronunciation, is a leisurely observer of urban life, someone who wanders through city streets, observing but not actively participating, often with a detached external perspective. Just for a day, I imagine myself a quiet observer removed from the city life, as now I am merely a visitor in a place I once called home. There is so much going on in London, and to be honest with you, in comparison to my slow, quiet life in Oxfordshire, this city causes quite a bit of anxiety nowadays. But sometimes I get just a little too comfortable in my own bubble, where the comfort becomes a sort of shield I put up in front of myself, hiding from the rest of the world. I felt like lately I've been shielding too much. I love my solo dates, I love spending time alone, I love doing things by myself and taking myself out of the familiar from time to time. I still went to some of the quietest spots in the city though, where magnolia was in full bloom and the day was sunny and wonderful and spring-like. But it was a new perspective, new experience I added into my very steady life that I built here in the English countryside. I love spending time alone, for it gives me an opportunity to only care about myself for a day. It sort of sounds selfish, I guess, but I actually never lived by myself before, except for an odd year or two as a university student. I am a big people pleaser, I must say. On top of that, one of my major love languages is sharing experiences. Spending time with someone else means making sure that everyone around me gets the best out of the day, often putting my own needs on the back burner. Having this time alone is quite essential to my well-being. It makes me feel more. It makes me desire a bigger and better life. It makes me reflect on the life I had so far in my 30 years. Each time I realize how much I changed. How our environment impacts our well-being and our perception of self. If I could live multiple lives simultaneously, I would do so many things. I'd probably spend one life still living in London, perhaps in a blue house with large windows and magnolia at my doorstep. I'd spend another traveling all over the world, not tied to any particular place. And perhaps another, somewhere deep in nature, painting, creating, not bound by concepts of money or time. But I only got this life. with all its realities and ups and downs, and I can only add the elements of those imaginary lives, add whimsy and wonder into the only life I have. I read this phrase a while ago which struck me. You can't add days into your life, but you can add life into your days. I try to live by that now. Hello, I am back in the countryside and I thought I would chat with you a little bit because I think I haven't done it in quite a while, and today I just feel good. I feel like I want to chat a little bit after a whole month of not feeling too well. March hasn't been that great to me, I must say. I was ill, I was under the weather, I just generally wasn't feeling the greatest. Today, on this day, is 1st of April and I'm finally feeling good. Honestly, I don't particularly love the fact that I get affected by seasons so much. Whenever it's winter for a few months, I don't feel like myself. I don't feel very well, I just want to hide. I stopped trying to battle it. I just know that my most productive months and my happiest months are from April until November, and then from November until the beginning of April I simply want to hibernate. So I learned to adjust my life and my schedule, or more like the activities that I do and the responsibilities that I have. I learned to sort of try and adjust them for seasons. I know it sounds kind of unrealistic, but all that means is that in winter I allow myself to have more time to do things, to complete tasks. I give myself longer deadlines, whereas in spring I know that I'm more active and I work faster, I do things faster, I feel much better, and quite likely I will be able to do things much better and more productively. So, you know, when it comes to productivity and slow living and balancing both, I feel like this is the secret, that slow living, it's not about not doing anything at all, but about learning how you operate and learning how to adjust. That kind of attitude makes me less stressed and less anxious, and I am someone who is prone to so much anxiety and overwork and lack of self-worth as well. So not basing my self-worth around productivity, but rather allowing myself to be as productive as I can at any given moment according to seasons, that has been a life-changing type of thing for me. I think a good balance between slow living and productivity is when you allow yourself to be both whenever you need it. When you can let yourself rest when your body screams that it needs rest. When you can push yourself and achieve things when you're feeling good. When you notice these changes in your body and you notice these changes in your inner world, in your mentality, in your physical and emotional state. It took me a while to become so in tune with myself that I notice these things. And honestly, I'm still figuring it out. You know, I used to be a very high achiever, and the only thing I knew how to do was push myself. Until I burned out multiple times, and I already told you about it so many times as well. What I figured out later in life is that sometimes pushing yourself doesn't mean that you're being more productive. Sometimes pushing yourself only means that you are doing damage, and in reality, by pushing, by ignoring everything else around you, you're actually not teaching yourself how to overcome adversity in a healthy way. When I learned to overcome adversity and difficulties in life in a healthier way, and allowing myself to make mistakes, allowing myself to simply be, allowing myself to be inadequate sometimes, and as a result, learning how to be better. So this is the thought that I want to leave you with today, that sometimes productivity is learning about yourself, discovering yourself, understanding your inner world and how you operate, and then as a result, doing things in a healthier way, focusing on long-term result rather than the immediate success. It's never too late. It's never too late to achieve something, and I think the best things in life really do take time. Thank you so much for watching this video and spending your time with me again. I will see you soon.